Sandra Embleton here. So I got some ideas to shoot some videos today. I've got some things that are percolating, kind of wanting to be talked about, wanting to be expressed. So I've written things down that I want to speak about today, and in doing that, I believe I'm being organized, and I'm trying to have my videos go well, have a good flow, because I know what I'm talking about. You know, trying to be putting forth a good production. So, as I'm sitting here deciding what it is that I want to talk about, then I realize, oh, wait a minute, it's not me that's doing the talking. I am surrendering myself up as a vessel in order that God, the Spirit, the power, and the presence of God, that energy, that presence that exists in the kingdom, can enter me. And that is the presence that wants to speak. That is the Spirit that wishes to have voice. And because Spirit does not have voice except through us, through nature, through pictures, through incidences that happen to us. Spirit comes through all those different ways. Animals, flowers, messages, everything, all the time. Spirit's always coming through and telling us a message. And once we remove the self, once we realize and adopt the spiritual law that everything is God, everything's God. Everything that happens is God. So now my ego, that's planning on what to do and what to speak and what to say and everything, that ego thinks that it knows and it's the one that's in control. But it's not. So how I recognize that is I go, oh, there I am. I actually watching myself. Oh, there I am in the kitchen, and I'm planning and writing out everything I want to say in these videos. And it's like, ha ha ha, silly Sandra. Don't you know that when you let go of control and you let go of the fear, oh, is this going to be a good video or a bad video? Am I going to, talk like an idiot today? Am I going to be pausing and I won't know what to say? There's the fear coming in. And then you just, you remind yourself, or you hear and listen to that higher self speak to you, and, well, it's not you. So you can plan everything you want, and you can get everything just the way you want it. But when you release control and you give Spirit the ability to speak through you and give it permission to say what it's got to say, and release your beliefs, you have to release the judgment and the beliefs that if you hear something, you stop the flow. There. If you hear something when you're surrendering, you say, okay, God, speak to me, and then you hear a judgment quickly come in, that this is stupid, I can't do that, I can't hear anything, you stop the flow. You stop the flow because you're already saying, I can't hear this, I can't do this, I'm not spiritual, I don't hear things. Wah, wah, wah. You don't hear things. We all hear things. Every one of us is built in with the radar system. Everyone has got the God radar inside of them. That's the first voice they hear when they ask a question. The first voice that they hear, comes so fast and so soft at the beginning that it is very difficult to slow the thoughts down enough to hear the first voice you hear when you ask a question of God, because the answer is right there. And if you can slow your thoughts down enough by breathing and say, okay, I'm going to ask a question, Father, and you go into that peaceful state. Why do you have to go into the peaceful state? So you can hear. You can stop the physical action in your body, and because your mind is to concentrate on what you're doing, But if you sit down and relax and there's nothing to do, the mind doesn't have to work about what it's going to do next, what's going to happen. The mind can relax. Oh, we're not doing anything right now? Oh, what are we doing? Well, our higher self is, well, we're communing with God. We're moving into the peace that passes all understanding so that we can hear what He's got to say. So I have to make time for that every day. If I want to, be in a higher level of consciousness, if I want to know God, if I want to actually know God, know what He feels like, know what He has to say to me. I want a personal conversation. I want Him directly dealing with me, because that way, I don't know, I feel I have a friendship with Him. I feel I have a relationship with Him. And I really just want to have that private time alone with Him, where I can say, look, buddy, look, God, it's just me and you right now. What's going on? Like, how am I doing? How are things, are things happening? How are things going with this? How are things going with that? Am I in alignment? Am I where I need to be? Am I pleasing you? Am I doing my purpose, God, today? Because it doesn't feel like it. It feels like, oh, I should be doing this, and I better push myself to finish that book, and oh, I've got to go apply for this and do that. There's so many things to do. Da 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 da. Every single moment of the day, your mind will keep you busy, and you'll keep active, obeying the mind, becoming a slave to the mind and the thoughts that go in the mind. Once you recognize that, oh wait, thoughts always exist in the mind and they never go away. Oh, okay, so there's always going to be thoughts. Yes. How can I discern what's a good thought, what's a bad thought? Well, how do you feel when you think it? Choose a thought. Try it on. Is this how I feel? Does this make me feel better about what just happened to me? No, this doesn't make me feel better about what just happened to me. This thought is telling me, what an idiot. I should have gone the other way. Boom. Then I wouldn't have been in the accident. Throw that thought away. Grab a thought that says, you know what? I was supposed to be somewhere else, but I made the decision to go down that street. And I know I got into an accident, but I was right there, and I knew CPR, and I was able to save a life. Wow. Wow. That thought feels better than telling yourself that you're an idiot for going the wrong way and should have been somewhere else. You choose those thoughts. You choose the thoughts that you're meant to have and hold on to, because it's like a current of them. It's an onslaught of thoughts. Onslaught of thoughts constantly coming at us. When we rise above the thoughts, we watch the thoughts. That's the next step. You start watching the thoughts. You start watching the thoughts that you have. And when you start watching the thoughts that you have, you go, oh, I'm hearing that thought. Oh, I'm hearing that thought. Oh, I'm hearing that thought. And then you go, wow, there's so many thoughts I think all the time. They're bombarded all day. Yeah. Yes, you are. Oh, so now look at it like, wow, I can choose the thoughts I think. And in choosing higher thoughts or better thoughts, happy thoughts, I will create a better future for myself, because I am God. I am God. I am the creation that is God's creation. And God is in me. So it is when you move into that relationship with God, if God is me, when you move into that higher state of relationship with God, you move into being God-like. And when you become God-like, you start to create. Because you're in that state of creation, that oneness with God. And entering into the garden and being at one with God is in a state of, hey, let's get back to creation. The Garden of Eden, let's get back to the beginning. Let's me and you get back to a relationship, Father, where we can enter into creation together. Because I want to be creative. I want to create something new for myself. I want to create a job, a new home, a new relationship, a new way of waking up every day with better thoughts, different thoughts that I want to get out of bed now. I want to get up out of bed now because I'm going to have a great day, and I know it's going to be a great day because I'm going to create something good. And that vibration, when you can remain in that positive state, as long as you can, having those, choosing those wonderful good thoughts. Now, some people are really good at this. They choose good thoughts. They start thinking all the time, and they move ahead very rapidly. Those people are very determined to do well and succeed, because they're taking it and practicing it and working it. But a lot of us, we hear something or we use our thoughts, and then we go, oh, I don't know if that's really going to work. Choosing good thoughts. Look at the place I'm in. I'm in a hovel, or I don't have a job right now, or my relationship is not what it needs to be. So falling into that, oh, look around, this is the state of it. How can I get into a higher place, a better place, move into creation with God? It's allowing those happy thoughts to become more habitual. Everything, I love this, everything in the universe that happens, it happens for us, not to us. I heard that the other day, and I love that. That's so powerful to think, yes, everything happens for us, not to us. So even when friendships end, or jobs end, or relationships, or habits, or ways of thinking of things, whenever things come to an end, there's always a new beginning. There's always something new that will happen when things come to an end. So if you've come to an end of choosing bad thoughts that bring you down and make you feel bad, or thinking, oh, they did that on purpose, or oh, I'll never get this job, or I know everything that they, they don't know as much as me, and I'm so smart. Whenever we let our ego or let those negative thoughts come in, it actually stops the flow of creation. So when you choose them more and more, your happy thoughts, I'm doing really well today, and yeah, that really happened, but I'm headed towards a really good future. That is amazing how that shifts your life. Now, I know a lot of people have shared this story, or this theology, this spiritual truth with people before, and all different people trying to say the same thing. And then again, I guess it is, if I have no judgment on it, maybe we need a number of people delivering the same message, because not everybody can hear the same person. Some of us can hear a lesson or a teaching from this person, but they couldn't hear it when their husband said it, 10 times before, or their wife told them for 3 years, if they did this would work. Then they do it, and because somebody who's at a barbecue tells them, hey, you should do it, and they go, really? Yeah, maybe I should try that. And you've been telling them for how long? So it just depends on, and save yourself a lot of grief there if you tell someone something a number of times they don't hear you or get the wisdom. Just let go. Stop trying to teach them that, because you're not their teacher. Oh man, that's a really interesting lesson to hear. You're not their teacher. You're not their teacher. You're not meant to be the one to teach them. Oh, I just got to talk about that for a moment, because that is, that was a real 2x4 to the head when my son announced to me that he didn't want to learn from me. It was like, what? You don't want to learn from me? Just saved me a lot of grief is what he did, because here I'm trying to help him be a better person and teach him all the life lessons, and then I see the faux pas and the flaws he's making and the mistakes he's making. I want to jump right in there and go, no, you're screwing up. How did you miss this point? How did you miss this lesson? How did you not get that? I taught that lesson so many times. Where were you? In the bathroom? Like, what? Sleeping on the couch? How could you miss that lesson? And it's true, because you just want them, people you love, you care about them, you want them so much to do well. And we make the judgment that we know better than them. We make the judgment that we know it's better for somebody else than they do. Oh, when you really think about that, and it hits you, how presumptuous, how big of an ego is it that tells you that you know what's better for somebody else than they do? Wow. so many people are like that, eh? They make a judgment that you're not like them, so you're wrong. Yeah, they do. You're not like them, so you're wrong. It's really hard to get along with people who make strict judgments, isn't it? Hardcore judgments, or this is what we've always believed, this is what we're going to do, and this is what's happening because they learned it from their parents and their parents and their parents. So you come along and all of a sudden you're going, hey, there's other ways to do this, and they're going, whoa, this is the way we've always done it, this is the way it's going to be, this is what we think about these people, these people. These are all our judgments. We're passing them on to you. We're passing them on to you. So as children, and most of us who are wounded children are trying to figure out how everybody wants us to be. We just want to get along. How does everybody want me to be? So you try and help this, like be what this person tells you, be what this person tells you, and be what this person tells you. And then you just end up being somebody you're not, right? So we all, I think, suffer from that. But the point is we're wounded, and we're trying to figure out where we are in the world and what's going on. Your family, it says, well, you're going to be a Catholic, or you're going to be a Protestant, or you're a Muslim. This is what we believe, and this is who you are. They make their belief system who you are, and to be able to say, no, wait a minute, that's not who I am. I don't know if I believe in that yet. I have to learn what I believe. I have to move into my higher self to be able, and my heart, to be able to feel where it is I'm to go and what I'm here to contribute. And only you know that. Only you know what you're here for. And when you figure that out, you hold on to that, because nobody else has the same purpose here as you. So it's really hard to convince somebody else that your purpose is right for you. They don't know that. Only you do. They just are trying to learn what the purpose is for them. What is their purpose? Purpose being, really, can I walk through this illusion unscathed? Can I step back enough to witness it, to watch it, and not be part of it? I choose to keep my awareness and my consciousness of how I am being and what I am watching. And when we let the drama in front of us cause us to react and move into something we're not, it's like you lose the game. You got to start over. Oh, I reacted to this, and I want to be love. I want to be more Christ-like. I want to be this, but I acted rashly and I said stuff I didn't mean to. Back to square one, right? So now it becomes you having to get the tools that you need to be able to start again. So, yeah, lost my train of thought, can you tell? All right, so when that happens, maybe I'm not to stop that thought flow and move into a new thought flow. But anyway, I've been talking for 10 minutes or something, whatever it is, or 16, who knows. Anyway, it's just going to come. So I want it to be free-flowing. So here I thought I was going to talk about 3 other things that never even got discussed. So I'll wrap it up with that. You can lay out the best plans and have the best intentions for everybody. I'm going to have a meeting tonight, and we're going to talk about this, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this. But when something unexpected shows up that we never thought would happen because we don't know what we're looking for. We don't know what it is or what it looks like when God shows up, if God's never shown up before. But if you've got your agenda all set out, and then God steps in, it's like you stop what you're doing. You stop what you had planned and what you were thinking was going to go on, and you watch and be amazed at the supernatural that happens in front of you. How many of us can embrace the supernatural when it appears and not argue with it or be frightened of it or run from it because they've never seen it before? So if more of these supernatural events take place more and more as we evolve, and this becomes more commonplace, will you be able to identify it when it happens? Will you be able to identify when a supernatural moment happens and that you're in it, and to and rejoice in it, to find wisdom in it, to go, holy crap, that just happened and happened here in my house. Who knew? But you know what? It didn't happen the way I wanted it to, so ew, I don't like it. That's control. When someone tries to control everything so the outcome and everything looks exactly the way they need it to be okay. And control is basically someone not feeling safe in their environment. Not feeling safe because they don't know who to trust. They don't know where to turn. They don't have anybody to run stuff off of. And so because of that, they just want to keep their world safe. And you can go into fear. And that's understandable. But moving into allowing the presence of God to make himself known to you is actually moving into the realization that God has come to you and brought something fantastical because he wants you to see it. He wants to give that gift to you, that a miracle has happened and you're there to witness it. Embrace it. What's it mean to you? How wonderful it is that God loves you to show it to you. And then you start going, well, I guess I have value, eh? That God wanted me to see that. God wanted that to transpire in front of me. How amazing. How amazing when God moves, eh? How amazing when God moves. How amazing. I guess that's the end of what we're talking about now. We'll make another video and see what else comes.